What's up, guys? Welcome to the Stats Free Sports channel. Here to bring you an NFL discussion video recapping or reacting to the Vikings versus Lions matchup that happened yesterday and why I'm leaving that game super impressed by the Vikings. Let's get into it, guys. So, tough game, tough loss. The Lions beat the Vikings 31-29. The Lions hand the Vikings their first loss of the season. Both teams in the NFC North, both teams are now 5-1, and that leaves the Chiefs the lone undefeated team in the league right now. But I will say this, I don't watch mainstream media too much, but what I did see, especially on social media too, but mainstream media on TV as well, after the game, people were impressed with golf. People were impressed with Lions, and they should be. Obviously, they're looking like a juggernaut right now. But I left that game more impressed with Sam Darnold and the Vikings and that team because, any given Sunday, we all know that. But this Vikings team has been playing well through 6 weeks so far. It had a bad week, I believe, last week, if I'm not mistaken. But through 6 weeks that they have played, they have looked great. And yesterday was no different. They lost that game because of a handful of mistakes. And even on to the last drive, one mistake cost them the entire game, and they needed like 25 yards to get in that field goal kicker's range, 68 yard. It'll be an NFL record 68-yard kick, which was in the kicker's range. But that big play by Sam Darnold to Naylor across the field. Naylor got down. Guys ran up, spiked the ball, 1 second left, but it was a penalty. Stuff like that is what crushed that game or the crushing loss for the Vikings. But like I said, I'm not a Vikings fan, but just watching them, I did a video on them about 3 weeks ago, and I mentioned Brian Flores. I mentioned Kevin O'Connell and how those two coaches on opposite sides of the ball are leading this team along with the players. Obviously, the players get the credit as well, but great coaching is leading this team to potentially the promised land. I don't know how far they will get, but I know they can definitely get to the NFC title game, depending on the matchup, stuff like that. They can definitely get there. But I'm super impressed. I'm leaving this game super impressed with Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold thought to be a bust. And I mentioned that during that video I did 4 weeks ago now. Like I said, it was basically saying I think the Vikings are legit. I think they're good, but we got to see. This video, I'm doubling down saying they are legit. I'm stamping it. I'm confident. As a non-Vikings fan, I'm confident, and Sam Darnold showed me why. Now the Lions defense can be lit up, which we've seen in the past, and Sam Darnold did just that. He faced decent pass rush, not what it was or what it would have been with Aiden Hutchinson there, which we know now out for the season for the Lions. But he faced a good team and a big high pressure game, and he did not disappoint. He did not back down. He had one interception. Other than that, played well. 22 for 27, 259, and he stood in that pocket, held firm, made good throws, not off targets too much throughout this game. He was very good. And that's all you can ask for from your quarterback, And coming to this season, I know me myself personally, I had this Vikings team being trash, and they are definitely the opposite. They are definitely one of the better teams in their conference. Now, as I said, the NFC North is full of monsters. Me personally, I had the Packers winning the Super Bowl. I had them. I had them getting the Super Bowl. I had them facing the Texans, and it's looking like it's going to be tough for any team in the NFC North to get there because they're going to be fighting for their lives, trying to get the best season possible. The Lions 5-1, the Vikings 5-1, both tough teams. Then you have the Packers. I think they're 4-2, if I'm not mistaken, 5-2 maybe, but they're playing well, And then you have the Bears. They're coming alive as well. So that division is tough. The conference, though, not so much. The Cowboys, to me, took a step back. You have the Eagles. They're iffy. We're not sure what you're going to get from week to week. You have my Falcons. Are we really contenders? That's a big question mark. The Niners, I think their window is closed. So that being said, the winner of the NFC might come from the North, but it's a bunch of teams, all four teams really. I guess I'll say three. Bears are a little too early, But if Caleb comes alive and plays even better than what he has been, you never know. But right now, I'll say three. Not Bears. Vikings, Lions, and Packers are my big three from the NFC right now. My Falcons aren't ready yet. We're not. Our defense is trash, so definitely not us. But as far as going back to the Vikings, though, it's tough because they're doing everything the right way. And like I said, little small mistakes here. The penalty, the Jonathan Grenard not covering Gibbs on that I think a wheel route. That set up the game-winning field goal for the Lions earlier in the fourth quarter. Stuff like that. That can be fixed. The penalty, that's a bad mistake. But other than that, the Vikings were dang near, not flawless, but they were good. They were great. They were great. They were great, man. So it's like, I don't know what people aren't seeing with the Vikings. I know it's Sam Darnold. I know we think he's going to turn back into a pumpkin and turn back to a bust. But as of right now, everything we've seen through 6 weeks, he hasn't. He hasn't. He's played, I think, maybe one bad game, maybe, if I'm not mistaken, maybe. But other than that, he's been good. Still missing that star tight end and Tyler Hawkinson. He's spreading the ball around good. Justin Jefferson getting the ball. He's happy. Naylor getting the ball. Addison, he's back now after a week or two now. He's playing well. Now imagine what they can have and what they can even look like in a more high potent offense when their star tight end comes back in Hawkinson. And then also another key piece, Aaron Jones has to stay healthy. When he's healthy, when he's available, they're a problem. Aaron Jones, 14 for 93, 1 touchdown. But the main thing we got to talk about, as I did in the last video 3-4 weeks ago, that defense. Ivan Pace Jr., young stud. Jonathan Grenard, another sack, playing well. Andrew Van Ginkel, another 2 sacks, playing amazing, playing lights out. This team, I don't know where they're getting the energy from. I know Flores has always been a great defensive mind, but dog, they are brought in and they are balling out. So it's like, I don't know what else we can really ask for this Vikings team. They push who most people think right now is the cream of the crop. They pushed the Lions to the brink, and it wasn't a fluke because they've been playing like this all year long. So it's like, I don't know. Like I said, I don't watch mainstream media as much as I used to when I was younger, but just watching what I did watch after the games, the immediate talk was the Lions, the Lions, the Lions. I'm like, that's cool, that's great. Golf playing amazing. But at the same time, Sam Darnold is lights out. Their defense, that the entire team for the Vikings right now is lights out. And I think they need to be spoke about more. I think they need to be promoted more. And like I said, I know their record's good. I know their their upcoming schedule isn't the hardest either. If I'm not mistaken, their next toughest game is Week 18 versus Lions. I don't really think they have anything else really tough. Let me check their schedule out really quick while we're up here. But I don't think. Well, they do have the other guys in their division as well. So let me see. Who do the Vikings have coming up next? They have the Rams. Should be a W. Colts. Should be a W. Jags. We'll see. They are struggling now. They're 2-5, 2-4, whatever. But they could be right. They could be changing things around by that time. That is 3 weeks from now, so we'll see. But just playing off how they both been looking now, should be a W. Vikings versus Titans should be a W. Vikings Bears, we'll see. We'll see what Caleb Williams does. That is Thanksgiving Day, so we'll see what happens there. Cardinals Vikings should be a W. Vikings and my Falcons. Being honest, I think that defense will light Kirk Cousins up. Our defense is trash. Should be a W for the Vikings. The Bears, again, if anything, they'll probably split. So Bears win 1, Vikings win 1. So we'll see there. Vikings Seahawks should be a W. Vikings Packers maybe a split. Then Vikings Lions last game of the season, January 5th, may be a split. So if that's the case, they're not gonna lose too many games, or they're not gonna be, as long as they stay healthy, they won't be expected to lose too many games the rest of their schedule. I have maybe 3 losses, maybe 3-4. That's a very good record. That is a playoff team, and that is a Super Bowl threat. Can they win it? I think so. And this is not the same vibe as that Mark Sanchez Jets back in the day when I was a little younger, when we were all younger. But it gives you kind of gives you something similar. A quarterback. I think he's playing in better. Sam Darnold's playing better than what Mark Sanchez was back then. Mark Sanchez was a true to form game manager. Sam's making plays. So Sam Darnold with this great defense, playing great this year, with Brian Flores, with Kevin O'Connell running the ship as the head coach. Depending on matchup, depending on scheme, depending on the day, depending on health, they could run the table in the playoffs. It all depends on. As I said, we can't predict the future, but I'm standing here now to say they are a legit contender in my eyes. They have showed improved through the first 6 weeks, through almost half the season now, that they are a real deal threat. Hopefully they stay healthy. Hopefully, Sam continues to play well. Because I would love to see this team, make it far. Because we thought, I don't say I'm not speaking for y'all, but for me, I definitely thought they were going to be trash. I had no hope for this team. Going into this year, people thought Justin Jefferson should have made a trade from the Vikings because people thought they would be so trash. And look how things changed. And like I said, it's a long season. Things could also go another 180 and go back to being trash. Sam Darnold can go back to being a bust and not playing well. But as of right now, he's looking great. Team's looking great. And a couple of mistakes, they could have been 6-0 and could be having a different conversation than we're having today, saying they are the best team in football. But since they lost, we can't say that, right? Well, some are scared to say that. I'm not, but I don't think they are. But they are definitely top 3, top 4 in my eyes. Not one. I'll talk about that in another video, but they're definitely top 4, top 5. No debate about it. They're that good, and Sam is playing that good as well. Great coaching from the Vikings, offense, defense, other guys as well. So that's it for the video, guys. Like, share, comment, subscribe. I will see you guys next time.